There is no reference to Trump's new Board of Peace initiative. Instead, the declaration endorses the Arab Peace Initiative of 2002, which calls for Israeli recognition of Palestinian state based on pre-1967 borders. This signals that India and Arab states support efforts to end the Gaza war, but reject any attempt to redesign the peace process outside the two-state framework. Perhaps the loudest silence concerns Iran. The declaration avoids any mention of the US military buildup around Iran, now the region's most dangerous flashpoint. Behind the scenes, Saudi Arabia is urging restraint, while India is quietly re-engaging Tehran, but also mindful of US reality that is reflected in the absence of budgetary support for the Chabahar port project. The India-Arab Summit has sent a strong message on terrorism. In the Delhi declaration, both sides condemned cross-border terror, flagged the growing use of drones and technology by terror groups, agreed to set up a joint counter-terror working group, and expressed solidarity with India after Pahalgam attack.
Societies targeted by terrorism have the right to defend themselves and will understandably exercise it. It is essential that we strengthen international cooperation to combat what is a global scourge. Zero tolerance for terrorism must be an uncompromising universal norm. The India-Arab Cooperation Forum serves as a platform to give our positive sentiments a practical shape. We'll also be contemplating working together on counter-terrorism and parliamentary exchanges.
First, let's look at what the Delhi Declaration stood for, the three pillars of the West Asia strategy: a commitment to the sovereignty and recognized governments; second, transactional partnership across rival camps; and third, an effort to avoid destabilizing alignments. In a region drifting towards sharper power blocks, India's message is conservative but calculated: stability over disruption, balance over bloc politics, and diplomacy over spectacle. I'm joined by Dr. Wael Awad, someone who understands West Asia like back of his hand. Dr. Awad, how do you look at India-Arab Summit and the message that emanated from it, sir?
Well, thank you very much. I think it comes after a gap of 10 years. It's a clear indication that the geopolitical changing in the regions have already brought these countries together, two nations, because, 22 Arab countries, 11 in the Northern African state and 11 in West Asia and Gulf state. It's a clear indication that if these two join together, there would be an access to the market in the three continents: Asia, Africa, and Europe. That is one part. The second part is the political development in the region, as you said, because of the West Asia crisis and the question of Israel and the United States attack on Iran could also widen the war, and it could be a regional war, which will have a great impact on the future of a global oil and the global trade in the region if the Strait of Hormuz is being affected.
Dr. Awad, India has been supporter of the Arab nations during Jawaharlal Nehru's time. India's position remained consistent in 1960s and 70s. Yes, there was dehyphenation in last 10 years between Israel and Palestine, but certain commitments remains when it comes to India. But today the position is far more complicated. You have Americans sitting there to strike Iran. There is, I would say, lack of consensus on certain issues between MBZ and MBS, who are very powerful players. How would you describe this current situation in West Asia then?
Well, let's put it very straight. I think there are two issues here. Yes, I agree with you. There's inter-Arab fighting there. It has also had shadow over the meeting, no doubt about it. There was differences of opinion. This was one of the issues. But the other issue, which most of the Arab countries till now agree, is the Palestinian issue, that there has to be a durable peace, two-state solution, coexisting side by side, ending of the war, ending of all these things. But these are the two issues remain in the Arab mind, that they should be unity in finding a solution and long-lasting peace in the region. I think India also have kept an equidistance among the differences among the Arab country, among the stakeholders in the region, and that's why the Arab looking at India, not only look India, it is acting India. You look at the number of the countries which have given the top award to the Prime Minister during his visit to the GCC or any other country. Secondly, there is also concern that India could be a proactive role if any future deal or any kind of stability required, that India can play a role, because India oil security, food security, diaspora are issues of concern to the Arab world and to India as such. So I think there are lots of commonality between the two sides. And I feel that India position, and India, I must say here, that India was one of the main or the only country among the foreign countries who recognized Palestinian as a state, opened their embassy in Delhi, and that is what also gives you an indication. Despite the hiccup has happened after the normalization with Israel, India retained its relation with the Arab world and maintained that it is supply and to the Palestinian. Though there may be changes of the pragmatic face of Indian foreign policy, but should not be at the cost of the Palestinian.
But Dr. Awad, how would you say the position taken by Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, even UAE, I mean to say, to me, it looks like they pay lip service when it comes to the cause of the Palestine. But, you know, they eventually cut their own deals when it comes to Israel or United States of America, you know. They create pressure, but the pressure is for public consumption. Look what has happened in Gaza in last 2 years. I mean to say, all of them just come together and create that sort of a pressure. So, you know, when I say India-Arab Summit message, they are all different players.
Well, I agree with you, but remember that nobody, even the United States, could not even enter one bottle of water to the Palestinians. They were hand-soaked with blood with Netanyahu, bombing on the Palestinians. None of the Arab countries took a united position, were able to break the ban or the ceiling of Gaza. And that was the objective. That we agree, because the United States is fully supporting Israel in its objective. So, having said that, I would not say that they will have abandoned the Palestinian cause. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. And I think that was the difference why the declaration took longer time to understand that no matter what you may think, that the Arab will never, not even a single Arab country, can abandon the Palestinian cause. So therefore, there has to be a durable peace in the region. And they may have succumbed to the pressure. But look, President Trump have created pressure against every country, not only.
Let me take this occasion to ask you, you know, why are Arab states so, is it cultural, is it civilization? Why are they so averse to, or very afraid of the Iranian state, the Persian Empire, you know? Why is that? Where does that fear stems from?
From the United States and Israel, because it was during the Shah time, it was the watchdog of the American and the British in the region, and you know it very well that it was the Persian Gulf which was looking after the whole of the Arab world. But when they changed their embassy from Israel embassy in Tehran to Palestinian embassy, then the anti-Iranian establishment or anti-Islamic Iran has been changed. And I think there is a change of conception in the American thinking and also in the Israeli thinking that there should be no more political Islam. And that is where Iran followed on that line. And they wanted to dismantle Iranian infrastructure and its ballistic missile is not only because the Arab, because Iran never attacked any Arab country, by the way. For the last 200 years, I don't see anything in history. But because the American taking this agenda wanted to create, you know, a scary scroll that the Arab can always pour the money in the American banks, and they think seeking protection. But we saw that Israel attacked Qatar, which was the custodian of the American. Then where is the American sovereignty or protection of the Arab country? And I think that's why you saw Saudi Arabia is moving toward China, is moving toward Russia, the other countries, because everybody is seeking alliances with other countries because America lost its trust in the region.
Yeah, you have a point. You know, last time Arab nations pursued and persuaded America not to strike Iran. Do you think that this will still hold the ground? Because America came very close to attacking Iran this time, and you were there on the show and you said it, you know, America wants to do something like that. But do you think that this time they can again persuade the Americans? Because this time they have actually assembled their forces all around Iran, from Gulf to Jordan.
I think, yeah, your question is very important. I think, let me put it directly to you. There is a worries in the Arab capital because America is not sharing with them what is their objective, by the way. I mean, America is saying that Wetkoff is meeting with the Iranian and they are discussing the matter with the supporting about diplomatic solution. But you never trust Trump and his administration. The Pentagon will definitely give a surprise word. But remember, it was the Israelis who asked the Americans not to attack Iran this time, despite the fact that the attack was imminent, everybody was talking. And I was saying it's never going to happen because American troops were not present in the region to that enough to support any kind of a damage or attack by Iranian retaliatory attack against Israel and the American troops. So now Americans have enough weapons in the region. Strait of Hormuz is in danger. Imagine if the United States tomorrow close the Strait of Hormuz. It will take minimum of 2 years to remove the mining, because Iran has mined the whole region, the whole strait. And if that takes 2 years, what will happen to the Indian economy or the Asian country, which rely mainly on the Gulf country? So the fight is not only because of Iran, it's the fight because the United States, also on a global perspective, wanted to attack, wanted to sabotage Russia and China in the future. It's a big power game. It's a greedy world, as you know.
Absolutely. Dr. Awad, it's always a pleasure to have you on board, to have a one-to-one conversation with you on West Asia. That's all I had on Point tonight. And the very strong message India sent. A lot of people were saying that India does not send a firm message when it comes to West Asia. I think the firm message was sent by our Foreign Minister Jaishankar, in which he very clearly elucidated where India stands when it comes to the issue of West Asia. This is all I had on Point tonight. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you and good night.
यार सोच रहा हूँ पॉलिसी बाजार से टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस ले लेता हूँ ताकि मेरे बाद फैमिली को पैसों की कमी ना। तू भी ले ले
यार, अभी तो यंग है यार, बाद में देखते हैं। आजा।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 0 GST के साथ अब 1 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 400 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
रश्मि, ये मैडम बड़े शहर से छोटे शहर बसने जा रही है, बताओ। छोटे छोटे शहरों में ही तो है बड़े बड़े अखाड़े, नए नए दावपेच सीखेगी और फ्यूचर में मेडल जीतेगी। पर बेटा, इनका फ्यूचर?
बड़े पापा, SBI लाइफ से इनका फ्यूचर सिक्योर है।
अभी तो इसकी जीत के इरादा पक्का है। करो पूरे अपने इरादे, अपनों से किए सभी वादे। SBI लाइफ अपने लिए।